Welcome to the deep dive. Have you ever seen a really brilliant technical project? I mean, perfectly coded, great design, just fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
And not because of, bad logic or bugs, but something totally external.
Yeah, it happens way too often. It's like you build this amazing thing and then plonk right into a swamp it wasn't designed for.
Oh, yeah.
Or you hit some unexpected storm.
Exactly. It's that feeling of, wait, the code was fine. What happened?
It's kind of the ghost in the machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Engineers pour so much effort into these elegant solutions and then they stall, or worse, crash, for reasons that feel completely outside the code.
These invisible forces.
Yeah, the things leaders, especially technical ones, can overlook. And it can be really perilous.
And it's exactly those invisible forces we're digging into today. Our mission, really, is to help you spot these critical elements. We're calling them terrain and timing.
Right.
So your projects don't just, succeed, but actually thrive. And we're even going to borrow a little ancient wisdom here. Sun Tzu, right? The Art of War.
Ah, yes. Classic stuff.
He said, know the enemy, know yourself. Your victory will never be endangered. Know the ground, know the weather. Your victory will then be total.
And it's amazing how well that translates, isn't it? For us, technical leaders, the ground isn't, actual ground. It's our whole working environment.
Okay, so what does that mean practically?
Think about your org structure, those really tricky legacy systems we all love.
Oh, the legacy systems, yeah.
The unspoken company politics, vendor dependencies, maybe complex compliance rules. That whole landscape, that's your project's terrain.
And the weather. That's the timing piece.
Exactly. Not rain or shine, but when things happen.
Yeah.
Business cycles, critical deadlines, big market events coming up. Even just the morale and capacity of your own team right now, that's the weather.
So our goal today is really to sharpen your ability as a listener to see these terrain constraints and maybe spot those timing opportunities.
Right. So you can navigate to that total victory Sun Tzu talked about and avoid the costly ambushes.
Because honestly, ignoring this stuff,
yeah,
it's like a general just marching off without looking at a map or checking the forecast. You're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, you really are. It's about shifting focus a bit. Not just the technical beauty, but the whole picture of how stuff actually gets done in the real world.
All those non-code things that make or break it.
Precisely.
Okay, let's unpack this modern battlefield idea a bit more. When we talk about terrain for an engineering team, what specifically are we digging into beyond the org chart everyone sees?
Well, beyond the official chart, there's the unofficial stuff. The internal politics. Like maybe there's an unwritten rule, but everyone knows it, that say the finance department has to approve any database schema change affecting reporting, even if it's not documented anywhere.
Right, these shadow processes.
Exactly. And then, of course, those legacy systems, you called them swamps earlier. That's perfect. They're the swamp on your map, slowing everything down.
Every leader has a swamp, I'm convinced. Or maybe a few. What else is on this terrain map?
Absolutely. Then there's the external stuff, too. Maybe stringent regulatory rules you just have to follow. Budget limits, obviously.
Always budget limits.
Always. And those third-party API dependencies. Sometimes they feel a bit fragile, don't they?
Definitely.
Even your team's culture counts. Are you mostly in the office, heavy on collaboration there, or fully remote? That affects how things get done. It's all part of the internal terrain.
Okay, that makes sense. It's the whole context.
Yeah.
And timing the weather. How does that play out day to day?
Timing is just so critical. It's all about when you act. And it's got layers. Yeah, like business timing. You wouldn't or shouldn't deploy a massive risky update the night before Black Friday, right?
Geez, don't. No.
That's usually a recipe for disaster. Then there's team timing. You wouldn't push some huge process change when half the team's on vacation or totally slammed, would you?
No, you'd hope not.
And even industry timing. Maybe you hold back a feature until after a big conference, see what competitors announce, or if new standards emerge.
Strategic waiting.
Exactly. Good timing can seriously amplify a good strategy, but bad timing, it can sink even the most brilliant technical plan.
So if it's not bad code we're fighting, what's the real enemy of the week here with terrain and timing?
I think fundamentally the adversaries are surprise and misalignment.
Surprise and misalignment. Okay.
Yeah. Surprises pop up from the environment you haven't really scanned properly. And misalignment, that's when your perfectly logical plan just smacks into reality. It clashes with the ground truth.
So the goal is to minimize those unexpected roadblocks, reduce the friction.
Precisely. It's about knowing your surroundings.
That really resonates. The best technical plans hitting the real world with a thud. Let's talk about some specific thuds, those stealthy project killers.
Okay, yeah. Let's take organizational politics. Often it's like invisible red tape
Mm.
or just subtle resistance.
How so?
Well, you might not see it on any chart, but maybe there's an unofficial power dynamic. Like one department actually holds the keys to approving certain kinds of features, even if officially someone else does. If you ignore that shadow structure,
Your project just stalls.
it mysteriously stalls in approvals, yeah. Or your team gets bogged down in these unproductive turf wars. It can derail things faster than any bug.
Been there.
Yes.
And then the charming legacy systems and tech debt, the swamp.
Oh, the swamp. It really is like quicksand sometimes, an old database, maybe a really tangled microservice.
Yeah.
The hidden danger isn't just that it's slow, it's the invisible dependency. You tweak something over here, not realizing it has this silent, critical link to the ancient beast over there.
And boom.
And boom, half your product goes dark. A nasty surprise dependency.
Ouch. Okay, what about things totally outside our direct control?
Right. That brings us to vendor and external dependencies. We rely so much on third parties now, don't we? Payment gateways, cloud stuff, AI services. This is external terrain we don't own. So a vendor suddenly jacks up their prices, or worse, deprecates an API with hardly any warning.
Yeah, that's happened.
It feels like the weather just turned instantly, right? Sunny skies to a sudden downpour and API outage raining all over your release parade. The real enemy here, complacency. Just assuming those external bits will always work or that their plans align with yours.
Okay. And the ever-present elephant in the room. Compliance and regulations. The walls and minefield.
Walls and minefields is good. Security reviews, data privacy laws like GDPR or CCPA, audits. A lot of tech teams see this as just bureaucracy.
Guilty, sometimes.
We all are sometimes. But if you ignore it, you risk that surprise compliance requirement hitting you right before launch. It can stop everything dead. A harsh reminder you got to survey that legal terrain just as carefully as the tech architecture.
Makes sense. It even sounds like our own team can be part of this tricky terrain. Team capacity and morale.
Oh, absolutely. This is the condition of your troops.
Yeah.
Think about it. If your team is exhausted, maybe burned out from the last big push, or key people are out on leave.
Yeah.
Launching a super ambitious, high-pressure project right then, that's just bad terrain for success.
Yeah.
The enemy here is ignoring the human element, just trying to push harder. A tired team on bad ground, they're going to struggle.
And finally, the classic tech joke. Timing pitfalls.
The Friday 5 p.m. deploy, we've all heard stories. Or trying to ram through a massive process change right when everyone's scrambling to meet a critical deadline.
Yeah, bad idea.
Terrible idea. The enemy in timing is often just impatience, or maybe not really understanding the rhythm of the business or your team's capacity. You might have the right idea, but doing it at the absolute wrong time makes it the wrong thing, effectively.
That's striking, isn't it?
Yeah,
None of that is about code quality. It's all context, environment, timing.
Exactly.
To really make this concrete, let's get into that story you mentioned. A Tale of Two Migrations.
Okay, let's set the scene. Fictional company, Innotech Solutions. We've got Alex, an engineering manager, team of, say, 8 developers on site, 2 remote.
Got it.
Their big mission. Replace an old, monolithic user authentication service, you know the type, with a shiny new distributed Node.js system. Goals are clear.
Yeah.
Better security, easier maintenance, scales better for their cloud app.
Sounds like a pretty standard, exciting tech uplift project.
On the surface, yeah. So, Act 1, the bold plan. Alex drafts this technically solid plan. Should take about 2 months. The team's pretty excited.
Agreed.
One developer does mention something briefly, like, are we sure about testing the new auth at scale with all our other services? But Alex, feeling confident, kind of waves it off. We'll optimize later. We need to show progress, purely technically. Decent plan.
But I'm sensing a butt coming.
Alex
Missed some terrain. Some time.
big time.
Pull.
Alex was so focused on the tech elegance, they didn't really survey the wider environment. First off, big one. The company was right in the middle of an ISO security certification audit,
Ooh, okay.
which meant the compliance and security folks were, let's say, hypervigilant about any system touching user data. They needed deep reviews, pen tests before anything went live. Alex completely missed this piece of terrain.
That sounds like a ticking time bomb for the schedule.
It was. Second, there was this unstated rule, but kind of a big deal historically. No major system changes in the last month of the fiscal quarter.
Why is that?
Because past incidents had actually messed up sales reporting right at crunch time, costly mistakes. Alex, being newer, heard about it but sort of dismissed it. Ah, that sounds more like a guideline, right? Surely not for our critical security update.
Uh-oh, the guideline defense
Oh,
never works.
rarely. Third problem. The old auth system wasn't just used by Alex's app. Another internal team, led by someone named Morgan, relied on it heavily, and they'd customized it quite a bit for their own stuff.
And Alex didn't talk to Morgan.
Alex, focused on the new shiny thing, completely forgot to loop Morgan in early. And Morgan, well, Morgan turned out to be pretty territorial about anything impacting her team's dependencies.
Okay, we've got compliance, fiscal quarter freezes, internal politics. What about the timing of the go-live itself?
Ah, the timing. The 2-month plan put the go-live date squarely in mid-December.
Holidays.
Smack in the middle of holidays, yeah. Lots of people planning vacations. Plus, it was typically a time the company saw a bit of a usage surge. And the final nail. The team's main Node.js expert, one of the remote engineers, was scheduled to go on parental leave right around then.
Wow. Okay, that's a perfect storm brewing. So, Act 2, hitting the terrain walls. What happened?
The environment fought back, basically. A week before the plan go live, the compliance surprise landed. Someone on the security team got wind of the new auth service and slammed the brakes. Whoa, hold on. You cannot deploy any user data changes without a full security review and architecture assessment first.
And Alex was.
Totally blindsided. Realized this review process would take weeks, maybe longer. Huge delay out of nowhere.
Okay, that's one wall. What else?
Then the political org friction. Morgan, feeling completely ignored and worried about her team's apps breaking, went straight to their mutual director.
Escalated it.
Yep. The director, who hated surprises, called Alex in. Suddenly, Alex is doing damage control, trying to justify the project under pressure, promising Morgan nothing will break, dealing with some very clear stakeholder misalignment.
And did the director bring up that fiscal quarter guideline?
Oh, you bet. The director reminded Alex very clearly about the unspoken Q4 freeze. The go-live was set for just 2 weeks before year-end. The director strongly advised postponement until January.
Which means ordered.
Pretty much. So now you have the timing issue, the freeze, team morale just tanks, momentum's gone, people start worrying the whole project might get shelved.
And the resource issues. The person going on leave?
Exactly. With the project stalled, rescheduling got complicated with vacations and the parental leave. Plus, new projects were already slated for January, so the team was looking at even more juggling. Alex's technically solid plan had run smack into reality. Compliance, politics, timing, none of it about the code itself.
Wow. That is a powerful illustration of how the best code needs the right conditions. So how did Alex recover? What's Act 3 regroup and reconnaissance?
Well, Alex, to their credit, really learned from it, had an honest retrospective, admitted to the team, look, I messed up, I should have figured out compliance needs up front, we totally blindsided Morgan's team, and trying to rush this by year end, given everything, that just wasn't smart timing.
And self-awareness is key, isn't it?
Oh.
Owning it. So what did Alex do?
Alex basically switched modes, went on what you might call a diplomatic tour, sat down with the compliance officer, not arguing, but asking, okay, what exactly do you need? Give me the checklist. Turned a potential blocker into an ally, just needed to understand their process.
Smart. And Morgan, the other team lead.
Reached out to Morgan, apologized first off, then really listened, understood her team's concerns, hashed things out, and actually, they found some ways the new system could even benefit Morgan's team eventually.
Ah, turning friction into collaboration.
Exactly, turning a potential enemy into a partner. Alex also went back to the director, reframed the delay, pitched it as being aligned with leadership's desire for stability during quarter end, showed adaptability.
Nice move.
Yeah.
And the team. How did they use the extra time?
Instead of moping, they used the delay productively, did way more thorough testing, simulated edge cases. They even ran a small pilot migration in mid-January. Alex called it winter training, kept morale up, made them feel prepared.
Okay, so after all that careful prep, the diplomatic tour, did they finally get to Act 4, the successful launch?
They did. By late January, things looked very different. Compliance had given the green light. New fiscal quarter, no freeze. The team was back, rested, focused. And Morgan's team, they were actually supportive now.
And the launch itself, they picked a good day.
Scheduled it for a Tuesday morning, definitely avoided Friday.
Good call.
And
it went smoothly. Uneventfully, really. A few minor hiccups, but easily handled because they were so prepared. Alex reflected later, saying the first try was like charging through a jungle without a map. Brave, maybe, but blind. The second, finding the clear road on the map and waiting for good weather. Took longer to scout, but the journey was way smoother, safer, successful.
It's just fascinating. The code wasn't the issue either time. The difference was all about reading the environment and nailing the timing. So for you listening, as an engineering leader, what are the takeaways? What strategies can we pull from Alex's story?
Right. This leads to a kind of leadership toolkit. First, and maybe most important, deeply map your terrain early. Don't just glance at the org chart. Do a real environmental scan. Dig up all the constraints, all the stakeholders, other teams, compliance, security, finance, and especially those unwritten rules, the shadow politics.
So it's like actual reconnaissance.
Exactly. A few hours of that up front can save you months of cane later. It's about identifying potential quicksand before you step in it.
Okay, map the terrain. What's next? Second, actively cultivate alliances. Once you know who the players are, get them on your side. Communicate early, communicate often. Don't just tell approving departments what you're doing. Involve them. Ask them about risks from their perspective.
Treat them like partners, not gatekeepers.
Precisely. Like local guides. Nobody likes surprises, especially the people who have the power to stop your project. Build that trust.
Makes sense. Third, Alex learned this the hard way. Mastering the art of timing.
Oh, yeah. And this has layers, too. There's macro timing aligning with the bigger business cycles. Like, maybe you propose that big infra overhaul in Q1 right after budgets are approved. Or you pitch a security refactor right after a competitor has a major breach. Suddenly the need is obvious.
Seizing the moment business-wide.
Right. And then there's micro timing. Scheduling deployments when your team is fresh, maybe having that no big releases on Friday rule. And critically, watch out for artificial deadlines. Don't let arbitrary dates force you into bad timing.
Impatience really is the enemy of good timing, isn't it?
It really is. Fourth point, build in adaptability for changing weather. Plans change. Things happen. Stay flexible.
How?
Have contingency plans. Maybe feature toggles so you can switch things off quickly. Schedule buffers. Maybe even alternative technical approaches in your back pocket. For things like cloud outages, new regulations popping up, a competitor suddenly launching something similar, good leaders have a plan B, maybe even a plan C.
And how do we get the team thinking this way? So it's not just the leader carrying it all.
Great question. That's number 5. Communicate context and empower your team. Share the why. Explain why compliance needs that review or why you're delaying until next quarter.
So they understand the bigger picture.
Exactly. It helps them learn to spot these factors themselves, prevents that feeling of whiplash when plans shift. And it encourages them to raise flags early, like, hey, did we check if legal needs to see this new data flow?
Yeah.
You build collective situational awareness.
You're training them to be scouts, basically. Okay, number 6.
Respect and gently shape the internal culture. Every company's different, right? Some are super risk-averse. Others are all about speed. Some need formal sign-offs for everything. Others let teams deploy freely.
Yeah.
Understand the culture you're in. Trying to force a method that clashes violently with the culture, it's like using the wrong map in the wrong country. Adapt your approach. Account for how your team works, remote, hybrid, whatever, and maybe gently try to shape the culture where you can, but don't just run headlong into it.
This really goes beyond just project management, doesn't it? It's about how your team functions as a system within that bigger environment.
It absolutely is. Think about it. Your team needs a supportive environment to thrive, just like code needs the right OS. As a leader, part of your job is creating that. Clear goals, sane processes, psychological safety, kind of shielding them from some of the org chaos so they can actually get stuff done.
And realizing no team is an island.
Precisely. You work with product, design, ops, support. They're all part of your ecosystem. Treat them like critical dependencies. Engage them early. Avoid those system integration problems. Or, worse, the blame games later. Early engagement is just good system hygiene.
And there's a timing element even for the team's own health, right?
Definitely. Timing and team morale, that's a huge leadership skill. Knowing when to push hard for that epic battle and when to deliberately schedule a cool down. Time for refactoring, paying down tech debt, or just breathing.
Reading the room, essentially.
Yeah. If energy is low, that's probably not the time for another massive crunch. Respecting those rhythms prevents burnout, keeps performance sustainable. It's like, not overwatering a plant right after a storm. Sometimes it just needs to recover.
And finally, making this learning stick.
Right. Foster a culture of learning and adapting. Talk about terrain and timing in retrospectives. After big projects, even after small failures. Ask, what external factors did we miss? Could we have timed this better?
Build that collective intuition.
Exactly. Over time, your team becomes like a veteran unit. They instinctively start to see beyond their code editors to the bigger organizational battlefield.
Okay, fantastic. Let's try to boil this down. 4 punchy code to commandments for listeners to take away.
Okay, let's try. First, survey the terrain, always. Understand your environment constraints, politics, dependencies before you leap. Know your ground or find quicksand.
Number 2.
Timing is part of strategy, not an afterthought. The best plan at the wrong moment, it fails. Be deliberate. Doing the right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing.
Okay. 3rd.
Adapt and navigate. Don't complain. Constraints aren't just roadblocks. They're design parameters. Compliance, legacy code, politics. Treat them as part of the puzzle. Stay flexible. Find the path.
And 4th.
No team exists in a vacuum. Collaborate. Communicate. Build real allies across the org. Win hearts and minds, and the projects just go smoother.
It feels like these all come down to 2 core skills for a leader.
I think so. Situational awareness, really seeing the whole picture around your project, and strategic patience, acting when the moment is truly right, not just when you feel the urge to push.
It's a powerful point. The best code in the world really won't save a project launched into hostile territory at a terrible time. So for you listening, here's the thought to leave you with. What unexamined terrain or timing might be quietly influencing your next big initiative right now? And what's one small piece of reconnaissance you could do today, maybe even this afternoon, to prepare for it?
That's the question, isn't it? Something every leader should be asking regularly.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into navigating your organizational terrain and timing. We really hope these stories and strategies give you some valuable tools. Until next time, stay strategic.